What's up, everyone? This is El Destroyer 229, and welcome back to Let's Play Persona 5. Last time, we continued to do some more miscellaneous things around Tokyo, as we have less than a week before our deadline. I think we've done enough screwing around. In this episode, we're gonna call everyone over and go and infiltrate the palace. But before we do that, let's go ahead and check out the TV real quick. Well, yet again, another reference, though I do like how they still kind of keep it secretive in case you haven't actually played Persona 4. Anyway, let's go ahead and call everyone over. Keep hitting all the wrong buttons.
Okay.
They're all here.
Okay, so yeah, we are definitely needing to get a lot of catch-up work done. But, well, actually, there's not really much of a point in holding a meeting because they're gonna say like, oh, we're this much in relation to the shadows and we need to hurry up. So, we'll wait until we actually head on into Mementos to view our quests. But, let's go ahead and begin the infiltration.
Yes. Let us go.
Come on, let's go.
Okay, let's do this. No slacking.
Right. Got a lot of work to do. So, our goal for this palace infiltration is very simple. We reach the treasure. Yes, unlike various other palaces like with Sei or with Futaba, there's actually not really much holding us back here. We can, in fact, get everything done within a single trip. And that's precisely what we're going to do. Granted, this is definitely the longest palace in the game, so we are definitely going to be spending quite a while here in Shido's palace. So, expect us to be fighting a lot of shadows for the next couple of episodes. Before we get going, though, I am going to claim Naga from the lockdown.
It's even stronger now. You want to let it out?
And he gets... Really? Oh well. Let's go ahead and register our personas. And, you know, I'm gonna take a look real quick because we don't need any for,
Now choose.
well, confidants. So I'm gonna take a look to see what sort of personas I can fuse and maybe free up a couple of spaces with regards to Satanta and Naga. So give me a little bit while I check around. Unfortunately, there's not really too many personas that really utilize either Satanta or Naga. At least that I haven't already fused. But hey, there are still a few personas that I can make. So we are fusing away Narcissus and Malok in order to fuse Yatagarasu.
Choose the inherited skills, inmate.
Gonna want a Garudine and a Sayadine. And considering a Yatagarasu automatically has Agidine,
It will
we'll go with a Drain Fire as
extraordinary
well.
Power. I see.
Alright, now let's see what Yatagarasu gets. His first skill is Mediarahan, which is super nice. But he also gets Last Stand, Windbreak. Okay, Last Stand's actually pretty good since it just increases all evasion whenever we get surrounded. So, it's another one of those desperation moves. I'll get rid of Makara Break, though. And Null Wind! Hey! Well, I don't really need Windbreak. So, yeah, pretty decent. Drains Fire, Nulls Wind, really the only thing I have to worry about is Darkness. I do need this for one of the group fusions. So, well, let's maybe try to make something of this. So, we are fusing away Titania and Yatagarasu in order to fuse Black Rider.
Choose the inherited skills, inmate.
So first things first, I want Drain Fire to get rid of his weakness. Man, I could just make him, I can make him null basically everything. Too bad that wouldn't really leave him a lot of skills. I will go with Agidine, Freydine, and, ooh, I didn't actually consider, like, what some of his, what I could do for a combination of this. I'll go with Zeodine.
It will receive extraordinary. My.
So, Ambient Aid may not be the best skill to get, but there's still plenty of other skills. So, Ambient Aid, Bloodbath. Heavy physical damage to all foes and a low chance to fear. Better than Flash Bomb. Ghastly Wail. Nah. And Mechadola. Ooh, that one's actually really good. That'd be between any sort of seasons. Let's get rid of Mamudoon. No real sense keeping, like, those sort of insta-kill moves when I've got just regular curse skills, so, We really don't have that many advanced fusions under our belts. And, well, trying to get these is going to be really pricey. So let's try to knock out as many as we can. So we are fusing away White Rider, Red Rider, Black Rider, and Pale Rider in order to fuse Trumpeter.
Select the skills you'd like to inherit.
Okay, so first things first, I want Drain Fire, so that way that's another skill that Trumpeter just gets rid of. Then Agidine, Zeodine, Aegeon, and Freydine.
It will receive extraordinary power. Now for a rebirth.
He's already full up on skills, but let's see what he learns.
Okay.
So he gets Fortify Spirit, so decreased chance of being inflicted with ailments. I can get rid of Abysmal Surge for that. Cripple, which increases gun skills. Ooh. That leads me to believe that he'll learn gun skills. Yeah, much as I don't want to get rid of that, Trumpeter doesn't exactly have the greatest physical attack, so we'll get rid of Brain Buster. Life Aid, ooh, which is really nice, recovers 8% of max HP and SP, granted if he's equipped. So many good skills! Yeah, I'll get rid of Cripple. Okay, looks like I made the right call there. I guess if I needed gun skills, I needed to pass it down. But last is Debilitate, which is really nice. Decrease attack, defense, and accuracy for one foe for 3 turns. Man, Trumpeter has some really good skills. Now, this might seem a bit much right now, but we already had 2 of the 3 personas that we needed. And I haven't actually shown off what it means to fuse a higher level persona. So why don't we show that off? So we are fusing away Naga, Rajanaga, and Ananta in order to fuse Vasuki.
You wish for more power than you can handle?
So, as a reminder, for maxing out Caroline and Justine's Confidant, we can fuse personas that are of a higher level than ourselves. In doing so, Igor will grant us the ability to be able to fuse these higher level personas. But they come at a cost. The higher the difference between the persona's level and your own, the higher the cost it is. I looked around a little bit just to kind of check, and with a persona that was about 1 level away, it was about 40,000 yen. When it was about 10 levels away, it was closer to about like 140,000. So this can get very pricey very quickly, and it's precisely the reason why I want to save up as much money as possible. Because by fusing the highest level personas that we can, we essentially we will cut down on the levels that we will need, so hopefully the final boss isn't so much of a cakewalk. But it will require a lot of money, and this is where a lot of our funds are gonna go from here on out.
Select the skills you'd like to inherit.
So by paying, interesting that it pays before we actually pick the skills, but regardless, we're gonna go with an Agidyne, a Zeodyne, Aegeon, Freydyne, and Resist Wind.
It will receive extraordinary power.
So that makes his next skill kind of useless, but hey, I'm getting a lot of Dyne spells passed down.
Now for a rebirth. That is essentially what it's like to fuse a persona who is of a higher level than your own.
Alright.
So granted, we now have a level 73 persona on our hands, when we're only about 62, in a dungeon where we should probably be around, like, I don't know, 57 or so? Maybe 56, somewhere around there? So yeah, we're kind of overpowered right now. Anyway, we get Evade Wind, which we don't need because we already resist it. Trigger Happy, which, well, with triple down, that's not necessarily a bad thing. So, I can get rid of Mahama On for that. Brainwash Boost. I don't really intend on using Brain Jack, and I don't really have anything else I want to get rid of. And Makarakarn. You know, I have auto regeneration in SP, so that's a lot more viable than on Haru. So we'll get rid of Brain Jack for that. So yes, we have a very powerful persona, but keep in mind that alongside personas that you need to buy back, you also have the added cost of a persona that's higher level than you. So make sure you've got a lot of money on hand, or you're not going to be using or fusing too many of these personas. Cause yeah, the cost adds up very quickly. And one more for good measure. So we are fusing away Satanta and Baphomet in order to fuse Melchizedek.
Choose the inherited skills, inmate.
Agidine, Bufudine, Garudine, and not Zeodine because I've been getting a lot of just the normal Dine spells. And instead, Automataru
You will
Kaja.
receive a great deal now for a rebirth.
I mean, there's still plenty of other personas that are below my level that I could potentially fuse, but that involves buying back some personas. So that's gonna be a little bit of a problem. So it gets Hama Boost, Revolution, and Mahama On. I think I'm gonna get rid of Revolution because that increases crit rate on my enemies as well. Next is Amrita Drop, which is useless because I have Haru, but hey, at the very least I've got a decent Hama user, which I usually get rid of those skills, but hey, it could be helpful. Okay, I'd like to take back what I said earlier when we fused Titania. Because normally Oberon's a pretty low-level persona, whereas Titania is a high-level one. And I know we fought Oberon before as like a sort of mini-boss, like way back a long time ago. I think it was in like, I forget where. Probably Kanashiro's dungeon. But anyway, yeah, Oberon is a lot higher level. Just wanted to point that out. Alright, and that is about all the Persona fusions that I'm going to be doing, at least for the time being. So this is what my Persona deck looks like. Yeah, overall, I have a lot of space available to me, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Because we're so high level, we have, well, we're gonna be able to one-shot a number of different enemies. And I know, like, we weren't able to one-shot the Cerberuses, but that doesn't stop us from being able to one-shot a lot of other enemies that exist here. So, in order to help prepare, I'm still gonna try to get into as many fights as possible.
We've got the advantage. Don't rush this.
Also, Treasure Skimmer.
Hiding something from us?
So with Treasure Skimmer, in order to get the item that the enemy has, you have to get them in a hold-up. And then, once you do that, you can get their rare item. So we have to be able to knock them
The enemy is
down.
weak against
We need
ice.
to hit him with an ice
Don't
attack
worry.
without actually killing him. Okay, well, thankfully I've got personas that can do that.
Go down.
Ooh, Joker,
So to
you're
give you an
looking cool.
idea, let's go ahead and demand the goods.
We suppose.
So we get a physical ointment for our troubles.
Losers.
But of course, since we did the negotiation, we get less experience and 0 money. So, yeah, it's not entirely the best way to go about things, especially since the items aren't usually the best. We did get a physical ointment, which those aren't really common. In fact, it's essentially, well, it's essentially Samirakarm. That, for whatever reason, it has from Takemi's services. But let's just go ahead and jump on him. And we can start to get a few other personas back. That is another reason why I want, like I mentioned, I want to get into as many fights and try to get as many free personas as possible. Because by getting free personas, that means I don't have to bother buying them back. So there we go, we got a Dakini. I can go and attack this Cerberus, and we can get into an actual fight.
Show me your true form. Okay.
So yeah, a lot about this endgame is going
I'll
to...
do this at the speed of light.
Thanks, Oracle, even though I hadn't actually, you know, stolen anything yet. Oh, actually, speaking of stealing stuff, treasure trap.
Take this.
So like I mentioned, a lot about this dungeon is going to be about getting as much money as possible.
I can feel it.
So I'll be out trying to steal stuff, getting personas in order to do a lot of fusions. Overall, just trying to gather as much wealth as possible. That way I can fuse a lot of personas come endgame.
Okay.
Under the ideal circumstances, I would be able to just go into the finale of the game at about the level that you would be, you know, ordinarily expected to be at for the game. That's at least my goal. I may be a few levels above it, but in order to actually get to that goal, I am going to need a lot of money. Because a lot of fusions require a lot of money, especially if they're going to be super high level compared to me.
Yep.
Indeed.
So, yes. That's just, again, kind of my goal. So, I'm still gonna need a lot of money, but hopefully I can do it without too much grinding. And preferably without needing to grind, you know, experience. Because that's what defeats the purpose a little bit. But anyway, where we need to head off to are up the stairs. I mentioned this previously, that we would be blocked from actually heading up here, and this is the reason why, because this is where progress is made within the palace. So let's go ahead and steal that, and move onward. And obviously avoid the guards, or ambush them.
Show me your true form.
Yeah, so a lot of these are still kind of in the same level range as when we first entered. So there may still be a lot that we can just, you know, stop immediately. Where is this? Oh, it's a Cerberus, that's why.
I'll reveal your
Well,
true
that'll
form.
work. Ooh, Cerberus and Sarasvati. Very interesting.
Ice attacks are out.
Sarasvati, weak to nuclear.
Don't let your guard down. You got two of them, Queen.
And that's just to show you how overpowered I am. One-shotting the Sarasvatis.
Ooh, Joker.
And with the baton pass, almost taking out Cerberus. You know, I just realized something important that I forgot to do. I didn't go to Chihaya! And I even wrote down, go to get money from the fortune teller. Ugh. Okay, well,
Okay.
now I'm at a bit of a
Felt
conundrum.
the difference in strength in that fight.
So I'm at a little bit of a conundrum. I completely forgot to get Chihaya, and thankfully I'm still very early on in the palace that I can conceivably go and redo all the stuff that I've already done.
Focus.
Problem is just I'm super early and this is a really long palace. Like, even though we're one-shotting enemies, it won't be long now before we're actually getting into legitimate fights. So, you know, I'm just gonna meet you guys back here, and I'm just gonna go and get Chihaya real quick. Because, yeah, I'm gonna want her if I'm going to get as much money as I can conceivably can. So, hooray for having to redo things! Yay! I'll meet you guys back here. Alright, well, thankfully that didn't last too long to try to get back to where I was. Also, I don't think I really appreciate how much Futaba's treasure ability came back in when it came to replenishing all this stuff. Because literally nothing came back. So I'm down quite a bit. I'm also down quite a bit of money, too. On the bright side, I do have a Cerberus on me now. So that's good, I guess.
Somewhere.
Okay, but now that we've gone ahead and stolen everything we can, let's actually take a listen to some of these NPCs. Not really much of any worth there. So all we have to do is just basically eavesdrop on these conversations and try to get something out of it. There is another floor downstairs, so we should head down here. Gotta be careful that we don't get into battles unnecessarily, well, at least not without an advantage. Hi, what's up?
Your true form.
Okay, so there's a Sarasvati. There's also just this wall here, which basically kind of supports where the entranceway was. Kind of sucks that it blocks our way over there, but whatever. Okay, so that basically confirms what we already knew. Gotta be a little bit careful. Just maneuvering around the tables. Oh god. Alright, so he's dead. There is still more people to eavesdrop, though.
And immediately acting upon them. In order to make that natural course of action a reality, we must build a society in which the young can be hopeful of a brighter tomorrow, gathering everyone's opinions and immediately acting upon them. In order to make that natural course of action a reality, we must build a society in which the young can be hopeful of a brighter tomorrow, gathering everyone's opinions and immediately acting upon them. In order to make that natural course of action a reality, we must build a society.
So it seems like getting into that diner is going to be a bit harder than expected. Also, the way's locked there, so not exactly going to be easy getting over there. However, in order to know how to enter, the only way we can... best way to figure out is just to ask.
Oh! No!
What?
Well, not exactly much else we can do. Maybe we can sneak on in. We are Phantom Thieves after all.
This is...
Well, it doesn't exactly leave us many places to explore. So, may as well just head back. This part out. So yes, unfortunately the worst thing is, because this is technically a different area, all the enemies respawned. So yay for having to fight everything again. I mean, it's not bad because we're so high level that we can just kill them off immediately. However, we do need to go and try to talk to some people in order to find some way of gaining membership into that restaurant. I just want to run up and just smack them, just point blank. That might be the way to go about things if I want to try to get some experience. Or more specifically, money. Anyway, where we're supposed to go is to... Well, actually, there's a couple more people that are around here, so let's go inquire. best bet we've got at this point. So now we have to go and check around the
Show me your
bars.
true form.
Unfortunately, like, it's not exactly an easy thing to actually just purposefully get hit unless they actually, like, raise the alert level. But let's go ahead and talk to the bartenders. Has anyone turned anything in, like a lost item? Membership card for the restaurant downstairs. So yes, unfortunately there's a ton of bars here, so we're just gonna have to check every single one of them. Now, I know one of them definitively has it. I want to say it's downstairs? I want to say it's down here where the actual place we need to go to is. Thank you very much. I may not remember a lot in the end game, but at least I remembered that. Right. If we can grab that letter, all the better. Also, if you use Third Eye, you can basically reverse engineer your way to this specific spot. So there is a way for you to actually go about this in a bit more of a tactical matter, but it's always going to be that specific one. And also, you could just go and talk to all the bars and you'll eventually get there anyway. So there's any number of ways to get around this puzzle. But now that we've got the membership card, we can head on into the restaurant and maybe take a look as to, well, the person within. Let's head on in.
What?
This is... Huh.
I'm hungry just looking at it.
Oh my.
That must be the table.
Right. That influential politician comes here. Why don't we have a seat at the table next to it and wait for him? I'll go. He may become guarded if we go in a big group. Wouldn't it be odd with just one girl sitting there, though? Does someone want to come with me?
Well, I mean, if someone needs to sit, I can go with you.
Hold up, Joker. Let me go with her.
You want to do this?
I mean, dude, it's a restaurant.
What are you, a preschooler? I was wondering why you were so excited about this.
Just don't screw it up, okay?
Why isn't anyone asking me to do this? All right, we're going in. Everyone else stay nearby. I'll give the signal when the time is right.
Man, what should I eat?
You can't get full off of food in a palace. He's as dumb as ever.
I can't read this.
I'll have the sautéed foie gras, a salad garnished with truffles, and roasted lamb, please.
I can't believe you can order so easily like that. Say, ain't we kinda young compared to the others here? They're all involved with Shido, yeah?
They seem to be major figures in the political and financial worlds.
On whose permission are you sitting there, brats?
Whose? I don't see any reserved signs or nothing here.
It'd be a nuisance if you'd make a racket next to my table. I wish to dine leisurely. Children like you who are simply hungry should leave.
What was that?
Skull, be quiet.
Sorry.
I apologize for our discourtesy.
If you understand, then go home.
Excuse me, but might you be Mr. Oe?
Indeed I am.
This will be an impudent request, but would you provide us a letter of introduction to Mr. Shido?
From the looks of it, you appear to be minors. Why do you need an introduction?
We wish to be granted an audience with him. His political ideology resonates so much with us. Of course, the same can be said about you, Mr. Oe.
You have quite the silver tongue for one so young. Not that I mind it. Are you a high school student?
Yes, sir.
Speaking of high schools, I've heard that some principal somewhere kicked the bucket. He supposedly tried to leak Mr. Shido's name. Had he simply obeyed, he could have remained in the upper echelons. To think he would cast all that away. An elite such as myself can't even fathom why someone would do such a thing. If you pledge your loyalty, you're given the honor of selecting those who would have mental shutdowns.
Did you ask Mr. Shido to trigger a mental shutdown in someone as well?
Ah, more or less.
Considering your caliber, I would assume that the target must have been someone quite important.
Important? No. The target himself was nothing that impressive.
Oh, you must be being modest.
You recall the subway accident early last spring? The one I had targeted was that engineer.
That was you?
It was to take out the president of some company and a diplomat who sided with current government.
I see. That was very useful, Mr. Oe. Actually, my sister is a prosecutor at the public prosecutor's office. I could pass on what you just said to her. How about it? Won't you give us a letter of introduction?
Is that a threat? Who are you two?
The letter of introduction, please.
Don't get cocky, brats. I'll never give you one.
Looks like you have one, though. Well, guess it's time to use brute force.
Guys!
So, it seems as though things are starting to fall into place. One behind the subway accident last spring. As well as understanding just why Kobayakawa was targeted. Well, we already knew that Shido had a hand in it, but I guess his puppets also pulled some strings. And now it's time to take him down a peg. So now we face Politician Oe, Yamata no Orochi. Oe is weak to psychokinesis and drains ice, and knows the skills Concentrate, Tarukaja, Rakunda, and Bufudine. Pretty much don't bring Fox into this fight, and you'll do pretty alright. I'm just gonna start off with a Freydine. And he's going to use Concentrate, which is kinda bad. Thankfully, he only has Bufudine, not Mabufudine. Let's see. Do I have anything to nullify ice? Yes, I do! Trumpeter, though he doesn't have Psychokinesis. I don't have any personas with Psychokinesis. That's a bit of an oversight. But I do still have Trumpeter. So, if nothing else, I can still attack him. I am going to have Noir attack.
Ooh, not bad, Noir.
It's a good amount of damage. Back off. And then guard. Just kind of have my other party members guard. Oh, yay, he used Tarukaja. Thankfully, though, I have... Unless I fuse them away. Did I fuse them away? Looks like I did. Well, damn it. That might have been Yatagarasu. In which case...
Go down.
Just do that. Again, Cyodyne.
Ooh, not bad, Noir.
Back off and guard. Considering that he has Rakunda, he's probably going to cast that next. And watch as he just uses Bufudine. Yep, he uses Rakunda on Noir, or not Noir, Queen.
Super move. Ultra charge.
Ooh, charged up and focused. That might have been a little bit too strong. Yeah, I want to try to get it with an all-out attack, but it's just a little bit too much. Oh well, that was easy.
Yeah!
But
I should have known.
No.
Huh? So other people's shadows can get locked up in other palaces?
Could it be?
Yes, of course. I will continue accepting them, even after I am inaugurated as Prime Minister.
As expected from you, Mr. Shido. You are truly a reliable man.
And in return, I only ask for your continued support. Standing up to the world does require money.
Of course. I'll make sure to prepare compensation as thanks for your help in cleaning up. The incident with that accident in spring was very beneficial. This is all thanks to you, sir.
If the study of cognitive science progresses, I believe it's possible to increase the target range.
I bid you good luck with that endeavor. I hope you will continue to assist us.
Hey!
My, what stunning nails! We have been chosen. Is my drink still not here yet? We are the There is no point working like those low-class
It is interesting that shadow forms of people could end up in palaces. I mean, the only instance that we've seen that is Mementos. But Mementos is everyone's palace, so it makes sense that they would be there. Whether it's a form of tampering with the palace or his distortion is just that great. Shido is certainly not a foe to mess with. Anyway, there's not really a whole lot else to do in this area. We could always just talk to the waiter. Basically telling us what we already know. Ordinarily, I would call it a day, but I would like to try to reach a safe room. Partially, I do want to just end the episode, but I also want to just be able to head back into the Velvet Room so I can do more fusions. That way, I can lighten up some space, be able to get even more personas, or repeat personas at the very least, and we can move on from there. Looking at the map, there's a lot here, and I remember this very well. I don't remember if there is, I don't remember if there's any sort of safe room nearby. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to backtrack to where we first started and use the safe room there. But I'll go ahead and do that off screen, and next time on Let's Play Persona 5. We are going to continue infiltrating Shido's palace. We managed to get the first letter of recommendation, but we need all 5 in order to get access to the central chamber, where the treasure awaits. We may be able to reach the pool deck from here, but there's a lot of areas that's separating us and that pool deck. And while we can see an elevator right over here, it's not exactly going to be as simple as walking over there. So we'll just have to navigate our way over there next time. So until then, everyone, take care.